Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win. I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooters gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I won, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. Grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
There we go. Good evening, everyone. I am the Dreadist, and welcome to my shop of all horror and dread. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you are having a wonderful day wherever you might be. Now please take a seat and enjoy the show, because today we are resuming our investigation in the abandoned theme park of Crow Country. But first, let me greet my wonderful viewers in the chat. Congratulations, Schmoozer, on the first. And thank you for the daily check-in. Schmoozer, Zap, welcome in. And also thank you, Schmoozer, for the starter care package. I guess we are starting with a lovely bit of tea. So nice. I hope you don't trick me with the treat of a Dreadist stream. Well, I might. But it seems I have gotten my treat for today from Zeph already. Thank you for the little nibble. And also thank you for the daily brick. I greatly appreciate it. I hope the brick is doing well. Stumps and poke? Really? That's the first reaction? Wow. Indeed, I got a bit stuck. You see, my back is not like back in the day. Yes, I'm growing old. But thank you for joining me today. And ow! My tail. Yeah? Thank you, Zeph. That's exactly is how my back is hurting. Yeah, thank you. My mind was shortly on German mode. Stops is poke. Oh, I see. Well, we learned something already today. I'm pretty sure the pronunciation is not quite that, but hey, I'm happy if I can deal with one language at a time, and that is English. Month. What? What is happening here? So, as you might know, today is a sort of special day, because today is Halloween. Indeed. The celebration of horror. The day the entire spooky month is building up to. Month is Nom. Oh, really? I see. So I was bitten in German. It's not much different than being bit in English, I would say. But thank you for telling me after the fact. So, a lot of streamers are celebrating Halloween today, playing all kinds of spooky games and decorating their streams in Halloween decoration. But you see, I don't really think that you necessarily need a special occasion to do something. If you are thinking about doing something, well, today is as good as any to start it. And if you want to celebrate horror, you can do that any day. Obviously, today is kind of a special day and a really good choice for that, but I celebrate horror every single day in the shop and obviously online whenever I am streaming. So I think my stream is adequately spooky already. But I will be playing Crow Country, as I mentioned, and continuing our little investigation about its past. And we already found quite a lot of concerning evidence So let's try to dig even deeper. Let's start it up. Now, last time around I was streaming. It was on Wednesday, and my internet worked really nicely thanks to replacing the old internet cable, and I also made sure that our new friend, the lovely possum, can get in and out of my shop without tearing through my roof. They got a little door next to my normal door, you see. To stick with my opposite tradition, should I stream, I have to stream a romance game. Well, you obviously could, it's your stream, but I'm not sure if romance is really the opposite of horror. I mean, have you ever seen The Addams Family, especially the old series? There, horror and romance goes quite hand in hand. So I'm not necessarily sure if they are opposite of each other. Maybe something really quite light-hearted, but then again, you might remember when Doom, I do believe Eternal, released, and it released on the same day as one of the Animal Crossing games, and so the fans started to kind of do a fan crossover between the two, and it worked quite wonderfully. Love for horror and horror for romance. I love to switch Valentine's Day and Halloween. Quite an interesting idea, I have to say. Well, go ahead. I'm not sure what kind of romantic games are out there. I'm really not quite knowledgeable about that field, you see. A romantic game, what would that be? Well, I heard quite a lot about that game, Date Everything, I think it was called. I'm not sure if that is necessarily a romantic game. I have Horror Evening. Continue the Alien series, Alien Earth. Oh, yes, the new series. How are you enjoying it? And why am I stuck again? Let me try to figure this out. Apparently my model is getting stuck. And not just my back this time. Concerning. But here I am. I'm just a bit more static. At least I can speak, I guess, so that's a good sign. That's mighty concerning. It's interesting, but I still need to follow a bit with my mind. Maybe I have to rewatch it solo in German to understand better. Don't leave us here, but I wouldn't want to leave you, however... I'm not sure what I could do. Isn't that troublesome? Apparently my camera doesn't really want to cooperate. Well, it's an ancient web camera. That's true. Oh, Lady in Red, welcome, and thank you for the lurk, cause don't want any spoilers, but have fun. You certainly don't want spoilers in this wonderful game, but I can only recommend it's lovely. Now, let's see what can be the trouble with my camera. Okay, seems to be working now, I think. Not necessarily sure, but let's hope that it will. Now, where were we? The railway, oh yes. Load complete. So, let's try to see where we left off, because we have quite a lot of things, you see, to do. So we are here in the train room, and as you can see, we only have a few things left on this map. However, I have a feeling, or rather a suspicion, that there is an entire underground level beneath us. Now, let's see. Unknown door. We don't have many of those. We have plenty of open doors, some locked doors, and multiple save points, which is really nice. Now then, why is the corner of this map bloody? And who put their bloody cup on the other corner? That's so unprofessional. Well, let's see. So this is a collection of staff memos, and we have quite a lot of them already. Let's see, 12, 13, 14. Oh, we have all of them up to 20. That's really nice. Now, I'm assuming finding all of them is a sort of challenge in the game, and we have a good portion of them. I'm surprised. Now, when it comes to the video game tips, I started to note them down on my little physical notes here. It's a piece of paper, yes, nothing quite as colorful as these pages, but I think we're only missing number 11. Yes, 10, 12, yes. So we are doing rather brilliantly when it comes to those. Now we have multiple things we have to start working with if I figure out the controls yet again. So we have the silver key, which is great, and we have the data disk security access. So we know there are two computers, at least up until this point we have stumbled upon two computers, and one is actually right here. The other one is in the dungeon, and that's where I think it will be able to open certain locked cages for us there. But let us examine this computer first. There's a slot for a disk. Haha, here it is. Let me see. So what I'm curious about is the two computers are the same, or they each have their exclusive kind of purposes. But it seems that here we have the trains, and in the other part of the map, in the dungeon, we will have the computer working with the doors. So let's see what we have here. We have Orion's Odyssey, which is rather quite confusing right around now. Move the cursor up and down. Okay, so we have the engine. So this is some kind of a code that we have to figure out. Alright, well, let's try to figure it out. So this is Orion's Odyssey. This is one train, 1935. Our grandest steam engine, elegantly combining all four design styles. During the war, it was used by the military to carry artillery. So this is a mixture of four styles, and I'm assuming the four styles are the four letters. Now, let's see what this is. This is the Earl of Edgecombe, a fine steam engine, apparently from 1934, beautifully combining the Arabella and Bernadette design styles. So those, apparently, are important for this puzzle. I read these before, but I wasn't really sure what I have to do with this information. Apparently, they were waiting for me to realize they are part of a puzzle. Now, there's a button on the side. Okay, but let's see. So I guess their design, or rather color, will be important. So we have yellow and orange. Well, here the first one is yellow and the third one is orange. And that's A and B. Now I will hazard a guess here that the designs are mentioned in the order of the cars. So we saw yellow and orange. So that's A and B. If yellow is A, then the engine here is A. And the third car, which is actually the second car, based on the name, will be B. I'm really not quite sure about this, but we'll see. Now let's see what this is. The Duke of Farnham. A handsome steam engine, stylishly combining the Arabella and the Lila design styles. Okay, so we actually don't have to guess anything, because here we once again get the Arabella represented by the letter A. That means that the color that will also appear on this train is the Arabella. It's either the yellow or the orange. I would say the orange if you want to make the puzzle interesting. There's a button on the side. Well, let's see. Yep, that's the orange. So A is orange. That's the third one. So the third one is the orange, and the orange is A. Now we know from the other train that it had yellow and orange, one of them being A. We already know A is orange, so B is the yellow. And we know the engine is yellow. Now this other car also had next to the A design D, and that was blue. And this lovely car is blue. So I will say that the first car, being blue, is D. And this is really clever. Instead of doing A, B and C, D, leaving some of the puzzle up to chance, because you would have to try out different combinations, trying to figure out what color A and B is and what color C and D is. Instead, what the developers really cleverly did, they said, alright, here you have colors A and B, here you have colors A and D. Okay, so based on that, you can, with 100% certainty, figure out which color is color A, and because you know that, you right away know which ones are B and D, and the last color, whatever it is, will be C. Like so. And that will apparently open the car. What's that? Well, let's examine. It's a small flamethrower. Because why not? Well, I guess we are taking it. Secret found flamethrower. We are building up quite the armory in our backpack. So let me actually check my backpack. So here is the flamethrower. Presumably this has some kind of industrial purpose, I'm sure of it, but I have no idea what it would be. Now that is really interesting because for our intents and purposes, this will be a rather nice weapon to set certain enemies aflame. Now, what I find interesting is that we have a handgun with, well, bullets that we don't have, but they would be here, I assure you. We have the shotgun with the shells, and then we have the flamethrower with the fuel and the magnum that I think we found in the toy shop, but no ammunition for the magnum. So we are still missing that. However, once before, or previously rather, the flamethrower was mentioned. I am sure of that. I just have to figure out where exactly. But pay attention and you might remember it as well. But first, I need to get some bullets for my pistol because these enemies won't kill themselves. I'm quite sure of that. Now. You still alive? Oh yes, the police officer. Yes. Yeah, don't worry about him. I thought for a moment he was dead, but then he wasn't, so it's all good. What do you mean you have enough? You have like 5 bullets. That's not nearly enough, but alright. Be it your way. So, let's look for some secrets, because apparently this was a kind of secret. I mean, you certainly can miss this computer, because once you get the disk, you don't necessarily have to come back here, and even if you figured out that the train, or rather the trains, are part of a puzzle, maybe you have forgotten about that by the time you get access to the disk and thus the computer. So this was the toy shop. This is where we got the Magnum, and this is a refrigerator with a mushroom inside. Now that's the little mushroom boy. And we found another mushroom boy previously. Now this one offered us to grant one of our wishes, or rather a really specific wish to increase the capacity of our shotgun. There was another mushroom boy who offered us to increase the capacity of a flamethrower, or rather our flamethrower. However, back then I didn't have one, and the mushroom boy actually told us, well, you don't have it, so just find it, I'm assuming. 5 bullets are 5 bullets, yes, but really quite quickly you will realize just how few 5 bullets really are. Now, Let's try to do something with you. What is ever so annoying about them is these kind of enemies is, if I'm not mistaken, they only get hurt if their little head is out. Now, give me some bullets. Wait for it! Handgun ammo, yes! That's the kind of soda machine that I appreciate. So, we are looking for... I do believe it was in the manor. Behind one of the paintings. Oh. Brilliant. This will be a bit tricky. But... worry not. That's my role to play here. Let's reload and actually... let's see my other options. Oh, so here's the flamethrower. Rather nice. Let's reload it. All 30 went into it. Okay. But I'm not sure how much the capacity will change, I have to say. Maybe I should wait until I find more ammo for this. But where else should we go? Let's take a look at the map. Well, we have to go to the dungeon, so let's make our way to the dungeon. I'm quite sure it will be also crawling with enemies. Oh, of course. That was a shotgun blast. I would quite appreciate if you didn't just shrug it off. So, here's the other computer. I'm not good at computers, try anyway, don't you worry about it. There's a slot for a disk. Data disk. No, actually a bit of a fun fact with English language and also computer science. You see, disk here is written with a K, and that is not a typo. When we are talking about CD disks, those are written with a C, but hard, well, not rather hard, these are actually floppy disks, they are written with a K. Legs, arms, heads, and eyes. Prisoner. Move the cursor up and down. Alright, so once again we have a similar puzzle on our hands. Let's try to figure it out. This is a cell door. It doesn't open. What do we know here? The deceptive serpent, imprisoned for crimes against nature. Okay. So that's a serpent. Alright. The violent Cyclops, imprisoned for crimes against nature. That's the Cyclops. The big bad wolf, imprisoned for crimes against nature. And the deadly mermaid, imprisoned for crimes against nature. So we have a mermaid, a wolf, a cyclops, and a serpent. However, here we have legs, arms, heads, and eyes. So somehow we have to find the connection between them. Yes, this is about NPCs. This won't help us that much. What's here? Oh yes, this is actually quite an important bit of information. This one tells us that in the mermaid's cage, in the little bottle, there isn't alcohol. Rather, we have some corrosive acid there, and I'm sure that will be important later on. And I actually know where. I think it's some kind of torture device. Well, you are actually correct. And indeed, you can see a little button or switch there in the darkness in the back of it, but we don't need that just yet. Now let's try to figure out the connection between the body parts and the animals. Good question. I faintly remember something, but I'm not quite sure what. Haunted hilltop, yes. What's that? That looks a whole lot like magnum ammo. I think it's a box of handgun ammo. It was an explosive. I need to be careful. Oh yeah, the game likes to do that. Now, I have a feeling that the explosive traps will be the last game tip that we will find, because I don't remember finding a tip about them. This is about glass jars. Now, let me try to take care of here. Alright. Your head fell off. Already searched it. Not allowed to smoke. Still. This should be a somewhat safe place. We have all the evidence here, yes. Chandelier traps, yeah, they can be nasty. This is the little gold factory going on. Field trips, yes, this is for the haunted manor. We already got through that puzzle. Let's see here. Oh yes, here we turn the heads on the gravestones, but these will not help us with the other puzzle. Animals and body parts. I have to figure this out, don't I? Let's check if the attorney is still here. No. Okay. Well, let's try to clean out this place once again. That was a wasted shell. How is my health? Caution, that's okay. That's not a huge deal. But I have to be more careful with my shells. Okay, so this part is safe. I think. Body parts and animals. Any statue or something like that. I would assume that whatever I'm looking for is in this area. Oh! Wasn't what I wanted, but it worked out. Ow! gonna shoot ya. I had one bullet, really. I came prepared, didn't I? Alright. Guess we're going back to the good old shotgun. Why is the world on fire? The globe is on fire, yes! I don't understand. Did somebody do this? Mister, it's a coffin, yes. There's a vampire sleeping inside. Is there something underneath you, by any chance? It's not real, obviously. It's a coffin. The vampire set up. It made me jump. No, it didn't. He's kind of cute, though. Yeah, he is. Bite the vampire. I don't think there is an option for that. It's a window. There's something wrong with it. Yeah, there is something wrong with the windows. Now, let me see. It's an old painting. That doesn't help. The pulling of the pin. What's this book about? Oh, I'm critical. That's no good. Alright, so we have nothing here. This one puzzle is messing with me a bit. But hey, we'll figure it out. Let me see what we have here. It's a signpost. Yes, the dungeon is where I need to go. Let's assume that every bit of information we need for this puzzle is present here. Are the cages numbered? The deadly mermaid. The mermaid is in capital letters, so that's important. Imprisoned for crimes against nature, 1837. Is that important? The date. If I press the button, the mermaid appears, but that's about it. I can't open it. There's a candle on a barrel, but that doesn't tell us much. Not good at computers, don't worry about it. Prisoner. Who is the prisoner? And also we have numbers. Numbers, not animals. I think this was a newspaper clipping. But this has nothing to do with it. Page from a magazine. We had a prisoner somewhere? Perhaps. Perhaps something I have forgotten about. Let's not waste our time here. Rather continue and find whatever we can. So this we opened up. This we opened. That is our little save point. The toilets we opened. We need the battery for the crow, but for that we need the mermaids. That sounded painful. Let me see if... No, that didn't hurt me. Great. The Ocean Kingdom. Now we actually have some unfinished business here. Already searched this. What is this? It's an old wooden door. The handle is broken. Storage staff only. It won't budge. I can't think of any way to open it. I can. You might remember there was a mention somewhere in the notes about an inspection regarding fire hazards and safety. And there was even another that directly mentioned that a storage door has to be replaced because it's just too old and it's falling apart. Now I don't remember which one that was, but I will say maybe this one. And if I'm right, then maybe I can just torch it a bit. Yeah, I can. I'm out of bullets. Let me get some bullets first, and then I shall return. This is actually somewhat concerning that I'm running out of bullets this badly. Can I get some bullets, please? Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Yes, this is the acid bottle in the mermaid cage, but once again, I can't get in there just yet until I figure out what I have to do there. What's that? Once again, it has that weird symbol on it, so I will say that is a trap. Let me try to shoot at it. Yep. Who is putting down all of these booby traps, by the way? Big metal door. Now this one I don't know how I would need to open. Step memo. The theater. Yes, I have to return there as well. This needs a golden door. And this is still inaccessible. It's a gas vent. Fumes are flowing out from a vent in the ground. It smells awful. I don't want to go anywhere near it. Okay. That you want for now. No, not this one. My bad. This one. Okay. You go away. Oh, indeed, this is a cozy storage room. It's a large med kit. Thank you. Handgun ammo. Really nice. Oh, that's a replacement owl. It's an animatronic bird. It's like the one outside the haunted manor. Although this one seems to hoot a few more times in a row. Is that important? Shotgun shells? Yes. It's a replacement swan. It's a mushroom. It's a little mushroom boy! I'll use my mushroom magic to grant you a wish. Tell me, what is it that you wish? What's that? You want to improve your magnum revolver? Sure. To each their own, I guess. Alright. Wish granted. We have a gold-plated magnum revolver. Except we don't have bullets for it. But it's gold. What's that? It's a small tank of gasoline. Nice. And the grenade. This place is really quite wonderful. Interesting that I can't inspect this hole in the ground. It's a brass scale. The dial measures in ounces, but the needle won't stay still. There's a metal octopus sitting in the tray. And down here there's a keypad. Once again, there is no 0. This will be rather interesting. I might need to look at all of the staff memos we have found so far in order to really figure out what we need to do here. But hey, we have a golden magnum. Ammo might be hard to find though. Yes, it is. And indeed, here's the handgun ammo next to the handgun. Alright, let's go down here. Since this is one of our save rooms. And in theory, I should be able to find everything I need here. It's a metal cabinet. I already took the shotgun. Captain Nemo. Alright. Well, let's read through the staff memos. Okay, this was the ventilator of the ferry pond. We already did that. The bronze key, I already have that. Ferry pond to tall man's office. Yes. The tree ferry, we already figured out that one. A machine chain, we got it from around the neck of a broken swan. Not eat any of the mushrooms. I might have not heeded that advice. Can I ask why the dig site access is that cute little house? Yes, we figured this one out, and indeed the keyhole was in the mailbox. The water filter system being hooked up to the ventilation system was right next to the ferry pond. Already did that. The ocean trident we already got. The crank handle we already have. The swan breaking down and requiring an egg, we have that because we got the gemstone. And here it explains that you can use anything, not just the eggs. The computer system needs the access disk that we now have. The Haunted Manor bookcases, read the book titles carefully. In fact, it'd be easier if you just didn't touch them at all, okay? Now I want to check those later on. If you're doing maintenance in the Haunted Manor or trying to access Ocean Kingdom, you'll need the crank handle. Yes, we have that. Yes, this is the one with the alcohol in the mermaid cage, but that's not alcohol, that's corrosive acid. The power switch for the 4 periphery elevators is in Tallman's office. Yes, we don't have access to that yet. The piano in the Haunted Manor indeed is a way to access different things. The shotgun in the submarine requires a bit of mathematical magic, but we already figured out that puzzle. The clocks need regular winding, but you need the correct tool, the crank handle. Maintenance tab, there's a button behind the panel on the back of the wooden crow house. Yes, we already found that. Crow moved the electric battery charger to the southeast underground level. Yes, we have to get there. The following doors are now logged electronically. Dungeon, Mermaid, Cyclops, Wolf, Serpent, and also in the Crypt of Ophelia. I do know that. They can only be opened via the dungeon computer terminal, but there is no mention about how. Edward had his office door electrified, and we also know that it is not hooked up to the main power, meaning that there is a good chance that it is supplied by a generator somewhere in the underground level that we have no access to yet. Can someone from maintenance please varnish the Ocean Kingdom storage room door, or else just replace the door entirely? It's made from really old wood and it's starting to crumble. It's not exactly fire safe. Yes, we actually used that bit of knowledge just recently. I noticed the Seven Seas mermaids use the same kind of battery as the giant crow. That will be important, but we have to find them. I hid the golden key inside the ferry's head. Not the pond ferry, the theater ferry. This will be important. Even if you break open the head, it's in a block of resin, so you'd need to melt it with something. Acid would work, or perhaps fire. This is important, but I guess this is why we will need the acid. I noticed the acid bottle in the mermaid cage is pretty much empty. You could refill it from the acid tank, but I heard Crow moved it down to the underground level. Once again, we have to get there. And no, I don't know what he's using it for. I didn't ask. Can we get someone to hook up the sprinklers in the theater to the main water supply? It is hooked up right now to a water tank, we know that one. To management, can we get the code for the front door changed, please? It's far too easy to guess. Is it the factory default or something? This is a security concern. That is to the restaurant in this Ocean Kingdom actually, and I think the code was 1234. It's never mentioned, but yes, you can figure it out because of this remark about the factory default. Now here is the explanation how birthdays are handled in Neptune's Palace, which I do believe is actually the restaurant again. And indeed, we went through this puzzle already. Remember to get into the ferry pond area. Say this out loud to the ferry. We already did that. The fire marshal was here this morning. She said the following rooms are due for inspection, and again, she also said we need to replace the Ocean Kingdom storeroom door, as I mentioned. The root excavation areas need to stay locked when you're not using them. If you need to access them, the switch that unlocks all the gates is in the break room that's in the northwest underground area that we have no access to. Some of the kids were complaining that their high scores weren't being saved. I guess the machines reset their scores every time we turn them off. I don't know if that's supposed to happen, but I'm not going to fix it. It gives the kids a reason to keep coming back. I'm not sure if this is actually important to any puzzle. Failed trips. This is actually a hint at how you can get into the haunted manor. And if any of the kids have trouble disabling the trap, I do believe this is in the crypt, you get some tips here. And that is all. So actually, I didn't miss any references or hints, or I missed them entirely, meaning I also missed the note. So, when puzzles are difficult and times are hard, it is time for a tea. Wondrous. Now, let's see what we can do. So this is the sunken treasure. I think this is the arcade. And in here... What do you mean, what's that? No, 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 no. That's a trap. I'm starting to understand that if you find something just in the middle of a room, that's most likely a trap, because I visited all these parts before, and there's a good chance I would have picked them up already. Okay, now let's see. Now, the mermaid quiz I actually got a trophy out of because I got a high score. This, the basketball game, I played, but I don't think there is a high score. I'm not sure if you can do something really silly like miss entirely or maybe throw the ball too hard. It seems no. Here I think I reached a high score of 100 or something, so I don't think there is a trophy connected with that arcade game. Yes, I'm not turning off the power. It's a change machine. I already took the data disk. I don't need to bother with this anymore. Yes, this was connected to almost all of the arcade machines. It's a newspaper. However, I cannot play Neptune's Rat, I think. The sharpshooter was also one that I needed for the data disk. I can't carry the antidote. No, with the claw machine. Ah, thank you, Zap, for the 100 bits. So nice of you. I almost thought I won at the claw machine, but then I realized, no, I just have some visitors from the graves. Yes, that is indeed the only cheer animation I use whenever I cheer as well. It's ever so nice. But thank you so much for your support. I saw that you were playing Minecraft, and even though unfortunately I couldn't join in, I was lurking and I was happy to see that it is working once again for you. So with the claw machine I tried before, but I have a feeling that you cannot win at this game. Because even though I tried all of the birds, I think, all of them just fell back. However, there's this lovely hockey table. Yes, Minecraft works again, that's wonderful. It's an air hockey table and there's air coming out of the table. That happened after I turned the electricity back on. Now, I'm rather unsure if I can do anything here, because you see, you can, well, do this. But you cannot get any points because, well, you don't have an enemy. But what if I move that thingy out of the way? Just a tad bit. This is probably against the rules. Yep, that's impossible. It was worth a try. Now let's see what's here. Yep, more ammo disguised here. I don't remember that or that. So... oh, lovely. Absolutely lovely. No. You know, I'm rather running out of ammo, which is concerning, but be it. Don't worry about it, big guy. This is mercy. And that is a creepy, creepy thing. It's a good thing I have my running shoes on. What's this? 12. Oh, bear traps. Yes, yes. Bear traps can be indeed really annoying. 2106. Now this code is all over the place now. And even earlier, it was mentioned. I remember it clearly. However, there is no keypad that would have the number 0. Okay, now I'm almost entirely out of bullets. It's a photo. Oh, I just realized what this is. This is the ferry. The sitting ferry in the theater. And that is how her head was filled with resin. Right, that tank was filled with resin just like we saw it when we got, I do believe, the mask from that deep hole. It's a door. There's a silver keyhole behind the sign. Well, I just happen to have the silver key, so let's hope we learn something here. It's unlocked. Now first let's look around. Whoa! What was that? What was that? I saw whatever was in your mouth. So this is the restaurant. And I know there was one thing that I couldn't figure out here. The soda machine. The cup is empty. Add soda. Strawberry sunshine. Luscious lime. Pineapple punch. Or groovy grape. This feels like a puzzle to me. I just don't know yet what it is about. But we'll figure it out. What's in your mouth? Okay, let me try to get a good shot at you. Spit it out. Spit it out. Come on. Come on! The greedy bastard took it back. Oh, the police officer is gone. Root excavator. Yes, we can peek in. Staff memo. Whatever it was, it looked like it switched colors for me. Really? Page from magazine. Maybe we can get lucky and get some extra ammo. Oh, handgun ammo. I'm curious if we can get something else other than handgun ammo out of these. Because indeed I am running really, really low on ammo. It's a cabinet with another keypad. Once again. There are so many keypads around. And, well, not a lot of codes. I know. Obviously. 2106. But again, there is no 0. What can 0 be? Hello, sir. Oh, okay. Hello. Sorry for barging in. I should introduce myself. I'm Mara Forrest. I'm looking for... I like the purple. What is that? Dyed? Must be. Doesn't look like a wig. When you're finished talking about my hair, I think I might need your help. I'm looking for Edward Crow. Yeah, I'll bet you are. You must be Tolman? Oh, so this is Tolman's office. I must be. What was it Marvin said? You were the root excavation guy? Correct. What's root excavation? No idea. He seems like a prime employee. You know you're not being very helpful. Correct. You know you can say that he's not very helpful, but he is ever so polite. The park is closed. Duh, I know. So go home. I can't go home. Sure you could. Just get in your little car and drive away. He knows about our car. I'm sure that guy you saved would appreciate it. He knows about our boyfriend. Otter? You know about him? At least he had the good sense to get injured once and give up. Tolman, what are the monsters? The monsters? Don't pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about. No, it's just... Trust me, Mara. You don't want to know. Can I turn on the elevators from in here? The elevators are broken. No, they are not. They are just pretending to be broken. Wow. Those are some sneaky elevators. So where's the switch? Let's see if you can work it out on your own. Fine. You don't feel like helping me find the elevator switch? I do not. Right. Well, then I will just look around in your office and you can't do anything about it. It's a big metal tank. A piece of Tuesday isolated for examination. Okay. Ooh, something musical. It's a metal cabinet. Is that a music note? It's a metal panel. Let me guess, the 4 elevators. Crow Country elevator power grid. Yes, it's an electric grid for 4 little lights. The lights are all red. It's a keyboard. This thing is pretty cool. I'm jealous. Well, it worked once. Okay, it only worked once. You know, it's pretty impressive how you can just rotate yourself like that. Antidote, I don't need that, thank you. It's a radio! The sound is horribly distorted. Probably because the arrow's been cut in half. Why did you cut it in half? It's a notebook. Tolman's Records, March 21st, 1989. Guests are appearing almost every day now. We can't save them. They are too far gone. But I want to know where they are coming from. I found a number marked in blood on the ground, 2106. It's not a code for any of our locks, indeed, because there is no 0 on any of the keypads. It's not a code at all. Then what is it, Tolman? What are these? These look like codes to me. It's a television. It's just showing static. There are 4 VHS tapes resting on top. Well, I guess I'm examining the tapes on my own, Tolman. 1937, Hindenburg. What are these? Should I watch them? 1912, Titanic. 1350, Plague. 1945 Hiroshima. These are all disasters? Well, let's watch them in chronological order, maybe, like the calendars are there. But let's look at one here. A small fire broke out on the port side just ahead of the port fin. That looks like a sea to me. One witness on the starboard side reported another fire behind the rudder. So Hindenburg is 1937, which is the third date, and that is a sea. Alright. Titanic. How easily men's grandest ambitions are undone. But that seems like an A to me. The iceberg was first spotted on the cold moonless night that was April 14th, 1912. They say it could have been avoided, were it not for men's inclination for hubris, panic, and blunder. So that's the second, that's an A. Once again, we have a little musical puzzle. Plague, 1350. Oh, the plague doctor mask. A litany in time of plague by Thomas Nashi. Rich men trust not in wealth. Gold cannot buy you health. Physic himself must fade. All things to end are made. The plague will swift goes by. I am sick, I must die. Oh, my apologies. The plague full swift goes by. I am sick, I must die. Okay, so that was an F, I do believe. And Hiroshima being the last date. Look up as you are passed over by the heavy shadow of the B-29 bomber. But in an instant, it is lighter. It has released 10,000 pounds of cargo. What was the letter there? E. Alright, so that's an E. And this was, I do believe, an F. Yes, indeed. So no, tall man. That I watched all of your little tapes, I can play. So we have F and A and C and E. What you say, tall man? It's a metal cabinet. The cabinet opened. There's a lever inside. I figured it out. I solved your stupid puzzle. Be honest. You loved it. Oh, it was kind of a nice puzzle. It's a metal panel. It's an electrical grid with 4 little lights. The lights are all green, which means we have access to the lower floors now. The only problem is... Mara, hold up. So the only problem is, I'm not sure where I have to go next. What is it? Yeah, exactly. I'm so in character. I'm so in sync with Mara. What is it? Don't go down there. You'll regret it. Well, with how little ammo I have left, yeah. So be it. Oh, that was so dramatic. Well, this is at least working. And indeed, the code is all over the place, except it is not a code. And I can actually see that. Because once again, there is no 0 anywhere on the keypads. So before I descend, let me check the rest of the park and see what else I can do. I am looking for a number of codes, and that is concerning. I am looking for the gold key and the battery for the crow. You see, this is the first time 2106 appeared. 2106. I think it's written in blood. Is it a code for something? Well, maybe not. So this is actually an interesting place. You might remember I spent a good while looking around here and figuring out which mushrooms to eat and which ones to avoid. However, even though I ate 4 of them, and in theory 4 of them are safe, nothing happened. The court found the following to be deadly and dangerous: death cap, destroying angels, deadly deperling. Wait. There were 4, not 3. The court finds the following to be innocent and harmless. Oh, there were only 6? Oh, oh, my bad. My bad. My king? He's just repeating the same things. Search each area carefully, that's why I'm here. And this was a step memo about do not eat the mushrooms. And I ate the 3 safe mushrooms in theory, and the 3 dangerous ones are left on the plates. But nothing happened. So this is quite a puzzling little room. I don't know why I remembered that there were 4. The theater, yes, but there I need to do some exploring and puzzle solving before I can return to the theater with some useful new items. Shotgun ammo came out! Wow! It's my lucky day today. Let's try it again. More shotgun ammo came out! Oh my goodness! Happy Halloween! Thank you! Happy Halloween to you, Venomous Squishy! I'm just on a roll right here. I kicked this lovely soda machine twice and I got shotgun ammo out of it. Let's see if I can get a third one. Wait for it. Nothing. Okay. That was it for my Halloween luck, but hey, I got quite a lot of ammo. Lovely. Heck yeah. So it's really interesting in this game even though it's a survival horror game, and as this subgenre mostly does, inventory management is somewhat important, and you have to be careful with your resources, but the game sort of offers you infinite ammo in a way. So in the beginning you can just go back to your car and get bullets for your pistol, but later on I had this assumption, and it came to be true. If you kick the soda machines, then you are pretty much out of one kind of ammo. It seems you can get some from it for free. How tall are you? Not tall. Ooh. Ever so mysterious. Taller than 160 centimeters? Be careful what you say there, venomous squishy. Much is on the line. Now let me see, what else can I do? What else can I try? But I think my next adventure will take me to the haunted parts of the theme park. Not like the entire place is not haunted in a way. Haunted Hilltop, here we are. So first of all, I want to save, because I will do something rather reckless now. So I can save here. The fire is crackling softly. Staring into the flames, I feel something. It's a curious mixture of hope and dread. Maybe everything will be okay, and maybe it won't. Let's override it. Save complete. So, you might remember those odd bookshelves in the manor. And I figured after examining one that it might be a bit dangerous to do so, and later on I even found a note advising against doing so. But I'm quite curious, so let's see. So this one, A Swift and Sudden End by B. Slane. So I'm assuming this is one I shouldn't take because I would be slain. This one was Inconsequential by Anonymous. What's this book about? This sounds somewhat safe. It's not moving. Well, let's pull it. Nothing happened. I guess the title was right. Now there was one about pulling the pin. If I'm not mistaken, it's a bookcase. The Flames of Hell by V. L. Cano. Ow! Why do I get the break? I think I already got the break today, didn't I? The Flames of Hell. Well, I either go up in flames here or I get some fuel. It's not moving. Well, I was already holding it. Darn it. Double darn it! Ow! Okay. History's Deadliest Poisons by O.T. Plagues. Let's try it. What's this book about? I'm so not surprised. And don't worry, I have plenty of antidotes. That's the one thing I have. Okay, do we have any other bookshelves left? What is odd is that I remember there was a book about pulling the pin, and that was the one where I got a grenade. And now that's kind of just gone. Alright, a swift and sudden end. What's this book about? It's not moving. Let's pull it. It's the first time I died, and it was because of a bookshelf. But fair enough, I was warned. Tyrannomon says, hello new dino food. I'm no dino food. But those look delicious. Okay, so the bookshelves are indeed dangerous, let's not go there. Now here we have the elevators. Now I will hazard a guess that the kind of intended route is using the elevator next to Tolman's office, because that is where we enable the elevators. So let's go there, let's see what happens there. But hey, at least we figured out what happens if you mess with the books, and that's good. Will you share the dino food? It's a good question. So I think there was a note about how Tolman's office can be accessed through the ferry pond. Chat is the dino food. Ooh. Well, it's a good thing I'm not in the chat. Oh no, the Dreadist are! Ken! Flee quickly! And there goes the brick. So indeed, I think if I go through here, I will find myself in the kind of office area. Oh, what's that? Yes, I already opened this. The trident, I already have that. Opened this. Well, it's not much I can do. It's an elevator. Northwest, it says. It seems to be working. Tyrannomon is my Digimon partner and he eats a lot of meat. I can imagine that. Digimon need a lot of substance. I can offer vegan dino nuggets. Well, maybe you can convince them. Press the button. Descend into madness. I really hope I can go back later on. So this is the underground level. Northwest and W it says. What the freak are you supposed to be? Okay, we need bigger calibers for this. Rest in pieces. Oh, Grenade. Nice. What is a block of hardened clay, aka the brick, going to do to a 20-foot tall dinosaur Digimon? Well, you see, Zeph throws bricks as a kind of greeting to anyone who is taller than 160 centimeters. And you just described your Digimon partner as being 20 foot tall, which I would say is a tad bit taller. Or I grilled Red. No, you are not grilling me. But hey, that's a good idea. Some warm tea. Thank you so much. Ah, hot, hot. That was overdone. It's a sentient brick. Brick craves violence. Let me see what we have here. Would you stop moving left and right? Would be ever so nice. Okay, that's just one of my 50 dinosaur Digimon partners. You have a lot of dinosaur Digimon. And it's just one of my bricks. Wait, you have more sentient bricks? Oh goodness, break room. I do need a break. Now, this seems like a cozy nice place. Ah, a trash can. It's full of trash, but as they say, one man's trash is another raccoon's treasure. Reach in. A soda can. Okay. Could have been better. But I take the shotgun shells. Anything here? It's a shelf. Yes, I figured. It's a bunch of green metal tubes. Looks like they have gold inside. And I leave it. Really? Really? That's my only option. Leave it. Crazy. Crazy how righteous we are. It's a notice board. I can't remember the code for the break room security gate. I swear it had a 3, a 6, a 2, and another 6? But I can't remember the order. I know I took the code from an old license plate, but it's gone missing. A license plate. That's an interesting place, but hey, that's actually a good kind of reminder for a code. Let me see. Okay, what about two 60 to 90 feet tall machine Digimon with dual cannons on their back, both of which are immune to bricks? Wow. Digimon immune to bricks? That's really quite specific. Root access. It's a switch. It's down. There's a red light. No, I'm not raising that. Thank you very much. No. It's a pool table. Let's play pool. But first, let's look around. Oh, that's a medkit. I see you. Brick will crawl inside and lay eggs like alien. Wow. I didn't know that's how tiny bricks are made. That's terrifying. And here we have the gold. It's a shelf. More gold ore. Why do they have so much of this stuff? Reasons. It's a pool table. Looks like the game got interrupted. My first boyfriend taught me how to play pool. He stopped wanting to play after I started winning. Yeah. Quite classic. Now let me see. Their names are Rustrianomon, the people who come up with these names, and Chaosdramon, that is maybe a bit easier to remember. Both virus-type Digimon immune to being infected by anything but destroying the world. Yes, but a virus cannot exactly infect a brick, no can they? Let me see. Northeast, are you kidding me? We are really traveling in mine carts. That seems like an awfully safe way of transportation. This will hurt like a bitch. Okay, I survived! It's a metal gate. It won't budge. I can see a way to unlock it. Oh, root F-R-I. Okay, we are not going to the roots just yet. What's that? Hopefully really handgun ammo and not just an explosive. Great. A virus won't survive without a host. That's actually kind of true. It's a large pipe that goes southwest. I think I will try to rather use separate elevators than these somewhat questionably safe methods of transport. Can I hit the... No, I don't think I can hit this crane. So, up we go! Hopefully it works, or I'm screwed. So... what did we learn? Actually not much, and that's concerning. I didn't get any closer to the puzzles, or rather their solutions. Oh, thank you for the hug. And also the Dread Rats appreciate it as well. Now, you oversized piñata. One shot? Wow, I'm good. It's a statue. Wait a moment! This is a statue! Fruits are friends. Good to know. Indeed, it is good to know. And you know what these are? Not just any kind of fruits, but really important fruits. I would say from the top, we have strawberry, pineapple, lime, and grapes, probably. And you might remember the soda machine that had... The cup is empty, yes, an empty cup, yes. Strawberry sunshine, luscious lime, pineapple punch, and groovy grape. The same colors as well as the fruits in the lovely statue. So we have to layer them. Now you might be asking, well, what's the right order? We are going from top to bottom or bottom to top. No, I always prefer top, but that's different thing. What we have to imagine here is the liquid. So I would say whatever we put into the cup first, that will remain on the bottom. Now normally they would actually mix, but let's forget about that. Maybe these are really viscous liquids. So first we had whatever is on the bottom, which is grapes. Groovy grape. Indeed. And then we had on top of that the lime, right? Luscious lime. And then we had pineapple punch. And on the top we had strawberry sunshine. I'm a genius! The cup is full, but I don't want to drink it. Leave it. It's a chalkboard. Mr. Crow keeps extra treasure maps in the wooden burrow in his lounge. The code is 8891. We found a secret! 8891. I will return to the chat shortly, but now I am being excited. Let's see, 8891. Here, indeed, we have this lovely thing, if I can get to it. Here it is. It's a cabinet. There's a keypad down here. 8891. It opened! Take the map! Map of secrets! Yeah! Let's see the map of secrets. Ooh. Nice. We have secrets. Haha! We figured out the puzzle, and what was ever so nice, I think this puzzle was actually marked not as a puzzle but with a question mark, like in the delivery garage. And that's really nice that it wasn't clearly marked that it would be a puzzle that you have to solve, but rather something curious that you might want to focus your attention on for a moment. Now, let me go back to reading the chat. Let me see. No, they just break bricks with ease, seeing as both of them are stronger than nukes. They are Digimon physical data made real, and are virus-type Digimon immune to other viruses, including being infected, seeing as they feed on my emotions and throwing a brick at my baby. Tyrannomon has got me upset, nothing less than total destruction for you, Zeph. Ooh. Poor Zeph. However, that is quite interesting. So, if I understand it correctly, and I don't know quite a lot about Digimon, but that would mean if your partner is a virus-type Digimon, then they are completely safe during flu season. That's nice. And they feed off of the partner's emotions. Interesting. Soda, yes indeed, it was soda. And thank you for the little dance and celebration. And strangely enough, they are rainbow color sorted. Really? Let me check. I didn't focus on that detail, but maybe you are right. Okay, let's check here. Red, and then yellow and green. Yeah, you might be right there. No, I'm curious if I make it and decide on emptying it out, what happens? Oh, it just turns around. Back like so. It's a menu. Hamburgers, french fries, chicken nuggets. Exactly what you'd expect. But it kept a secret from us. And you see, that's what is so nice about this game, that it is filled with little details, and I even mentioned that it's a bit concerning how many codes I'm looking for and I'm not finding any. But it not only, I would say, rewards, but encourages exploration, just going around. And it's so nice that whenever I feel like, hey, I don't want to progress in the story, or I'm out of bullets, let's look for some ammunition, I can just walk around and look for the little details and figure out a puzzle here and there, and the game is not at all spoiling it. Yes, it gives a lot of hints in a way, but not necessarily about the secrets. When it comes to the secrets, the game is actually really quite, how would you say it, greedy with the information it provides you. But this was really, really nice. Not like it helped us a whole lot. Oh, this is open now. Well, it helped us with the secrets, but not with our investigation, and obviously we should maybe care about that just a tiny bit as well. So first we have to secure the parameters. Whatever and whoever is in that box, come out with your arms raised, or whatever kind of limbs you have instead of arms. Come up with your tentacles above your head, if you have a head. If you don't have a head, just point all of your limbs towards the sky. Even though maybe it would be difficult to move like that. Well, figure it out. It's not my problem. It's a large wooden box. Yes. I think it's a shipping crate. That's the most important. It's moving. Like, I think that's... Whatever, leave it. Right, leave it. Who cares? Okay, I think this is real ammo because it doesn't have the little X mark on it like the traps. Handgun ammo, nice. Which we actually need because that's the only way I can open these. I like that next to the electric socket there is a little arrow pointing up. I guess that is a subtle way of telling you that if you are so silly that you try to use that socket, you will end up in heaven real quickly. Well, that's oil. Why are there so many X's on the walls? And what kept this door closed? It looks like it would need some sort of a mechanism on this part of the wall to close it, but there's nothing. Well, whatever. It's a vent. Is there something inside? Well, I tried shooting vents before, at least one, but nothing happened. It's a step memo! I noticed there's an elevator behind a large crow. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Does it go anywhere? Does anyone use it? It always seems to be powered down. I figured it was broken, but someone said there's a switch in Crow's office that turns it on. Except I can't go there. I mean to Crow's office, because I get fried if I even try to touch the door handle. But hey, we found the staff memo. What's that? It's a piece of paper. Okay, so you have a robot with headphones on, and then you blast some tunes and the robot gets all excited, and then the bird starts to dance. It's some kind of diagram. Yes, exactly that. Well, what I think it really is a battery. If you charge it, the crow will move, but I kind of like my interpretation. Delivery zone, keep clear. Okay. What's here? Another staff memo. Okay, I think I have figured it out. Bronze key, crank handle, ruby, chain, mask, trident, silver key, data disk, acid bottle, fill, golden key, large battery, charge. What an ordeal. And that's not exactly helpful to me. I already knew most of those things. Alright, what's here? This is an interesting place. It's a crane. It's hauling something out of the ground. So it's picking up those tubes filled with gold. The gold falls down, it goes into that factory pod that we saw earlier. And then in the dumpster, these metal tubes are burnt. Whatever is in there, it's on fire. Smells bad. It's giving me a headache. Okay, and what is this? It looks like a coffin. It's a small tank of gasoline. Not what I was talking about, but thank you. Okay, we're not talking about the coffin. Oh, there are more coffins here. Can we talk about these maybe? No? Okay. What's that? I'm not sure. Looks like a medkit, but it's an odd color, so maybe I will get blown up here. I fucking knew it. It was an explosive. No shit, Mara. Need to be careful. Yes, I know. Okay, it's a computer screen. Well, I'm not good with computers. Well, Mara isn't. But I am, so let's try. It's just a bunch of flickering numbers. I can make sense of it. But that's about that. So what can I do here? I guess pretty much nothing, but... Hey, we got in here, so that's pretty neat. We should do something about this box, right? Oh, what's that? Shotgun shells. Hey. It's always important to look around from all different angles. Trash can. Full of trash. Let's reach in and soda can. I mean, almost. It could have been something useful. Alright. Let's try. Open it. Maybe I shouldn't. That's actually a good point, but I'm the Dreadist. Let's open it. Julie? What are you doing in there? I was expecting some kind of a monstrosity. Like a friend. And then I got an attorney. Oh well. Hey kid. Julie, what happened? I'll tell you if you help me out of this thing. I already opened it, but alright. Okay, help her out. Of course, let's get you out of there. What's in this? It's a large wooden box. It's full of soil. Oh, this is the soil that was shipped to Brazil, I think, for examination. So the authorities over there don't or can't figure out this way that the gold is actually shipped in, because this way the soil matches the soil over there. So what they did is they have a mine in Brazil and they have, I'm assuming, a mine here in America. And the scheme, I think, was that they purchased this mine in Brazil, but it's not really good, I'm assuming. It doesn't have much gold. So they got the gold from their mine in America, in the US. I'm assuming this is in the US. And they crushed it up, or rather they got these big chunks like rods of gold, and then they crushed it up and mixed it into stone and somehow compressed it so it looks somewhat like a gold ore, and then they shipped that to Brazil and made it look like that was from that mine. And I'm assuming the idea was that later on they can sell that mine for a lot of money, because they made it look like a really lucrative business. But then there was this examination in Brazil, and so they figured, hey, we mix the gold is the same everywhere, but we mix it with soil and rocks from the US. So when they examine that in Brazil, they will realize, well, this is not the kind of mineral construction that is over there, or that can be found in Brazil. So they shipped soil and rocks from over there to be mixed with the gold and then be sent back for this special examination. Just soil and rocks. I don't get it. I kind of do, I think. Okay, what happened to you? Thanks for the help. How did you end up in the crate? Some guy grabbed me from behind and threw me in there. I mean, this place is not exactly next to the cell where you were. Some guy? Who was it? Tall man? No idea, didn't see his face. He had real sweaty hands though. Well, that's some clue that we can go off of, I guess. Oh, gross. Really? Really? That's your biggest concern. Alright, Mar. Yeah, not an especially enjoyable experience, all told. Well, if they had really sweaty hands, how couldn't you just slip out of their grasp? I wonder if it was Marvin. He looked like he'd be kind of sweaty. Really? Marvin who? Oh, nothing, don't worry, just thinking out loud. I'm just glad you're safe. Yeah, listen, that's twice you've helped me out now. Let me know if there's any way I can return the favor. Right, thanks, will do. Anything else you would like to tell me? Anything I can do for you? Not right now, thanks though. Alright, you know where to find me. Well, until you get abducted again. Well, southwest. Let's go down. Minecart that way. Hop! There's something behind me, isn't there? Oh! I do not like kids. Leave alone that poor jar. Wow! As they say, two birds with one stone. Or rather, two targets with one bullet. Which is nice, given how many shots I actually miss. What's that? That's a grenade, and hopefully it will not explode in my face. Lovely. I never used one of those actually. Central. It's a hatch with a number on it. I can get into the pipe. This looks like some kind of high-tech lock. Let's press the button. Hopefully it will help us understand it. The display changed. I have no idea what I'm doing. Yep. Might have to find a different way into the central area. Okay. I think this will be closed. It won't budge. I can't see a way to unlock it. Alright. Northwest, it's a large pipe. Wrong button. Oh, shotgun shells. And in the right color. Really important, the coloration. Oh ho 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 ho. You almost got me. But not quite. It won't budge. I can't see a way to unlock it. Root ved. Oh, the day is Wednesday. That's an explosive. Because it has the kind of crosshair on it. Southeast, what's that? Small tank of gasoline. Now let me see how much gasoline I actually have now. So 50 is the maximum. Alright. Let's go back up. I mean, we are making some progress. I wouldn't say a whole lot, but slow and steady progress is the key here. No! I always think that's the reload button. But hey, at least I didn't kill anyone. Okay, you're still here. But where's the police officer, I'm wondering? Not sure. Now, here we need the gold key, we don't have that. Here we need something to do with the gas. Here we finished everything, at least I think. What's this? Oh yes, in the ferry's head. Okay, I don't see anything in this Ocean Kingdom part that would help me at all. So I will say that we are kind of good-ish here. Now, let's look at this place. Fairy Tale Town. So I looked around here. I got into the mushroom. Staff memo. Yes, here it is. The quickest way to Tollman's office is through the Fairy Pond area, right? Indeed. Even though it was quite a long way for me. The theater. Now for the theater, I do believe we actually need a number of things. So we need the acid. But I don't have the acid yet, because that is in the dungeon. Yes, this was again the door in the Ocean Kingdom. That is a trap, and I'm not wasting my bullets on it. That's one kind of nice thing about these traps, is you can just walk by them safely. You just cannot interact with them. Sir? Ma'am? Would you stop twitching? I helped with the twitching. Okay, that's still electrified. I don't even have the battery, by the way, to charge it, but here we have another way to descend. Staff memo. Now, I have one idea here. Can I shoot these? Because there is no other point to the cigarette machines. So let's try to shoot them. No. Apparently that was pointless. Good to know. Now, what do we have here? This leads to... who the freak knows where? I think this leads to the haunted manor. Yes, indeed, it does. Now, I can talk to the little mushroom boy, and I think he is behind this painting. Song in a cage, so we have to play cage here. Almost. So here it is, and there's the mushroom boy. It's a mushroom boy! I'm a little mushroom boy. I'll use my mushroom magic to grant you a wish. Tell me, what is that you wish? What's that? You want to improve the range of your flamethrower? To each their own, I guess. I actually thought he would improve the capacity, but apparently every weapon has a kind of special upgrade. So the shotgun had the capacity, the flamethrower the range, and for the magnum it was a special upgrade because it got golden color. Get the wish! Wish granted! Thank you! I'm a little mushroom boy. I've already granted you a wish. I have no other purpose. That's kind of still sad. Oh, that's interesting. This remained open? Okay. History's deadliest poison. Wait, that wasn't here before, so they change? The flames of hell. Yes, we already got burned because of that. The flames of hell again? History's deadliest poisons. Wait, what? So they are random based on when you enter, or they kind of get reshuffled? Alright. That's interesting. Maybe it's worth coming back later on. But we got some new information. What's that? That's an antidote. I'm not sure if it's safe, but let's try. Oh, I can't carry anymore. Well, that's alright. So what can I do? Well, we still have this dungeon problem. I still don't know what to do about it. The Iron Maiden. We have a body. Legs, arms, heads, and eyes. Eyes. That's really specific. And we go from 1 to 4. And these are prisoners. No, these should be the prisoners, right? The Deadly Mermaid, imprisoned for crimes against... They all are imprisoned for crimes against nature. That's odd, in my opinion. But alright, and they all have a date. So, you know what you do when you don't know what to do. You start taking notes. So we have the mermaid. 1837. Okay. Now the mermaid is special because she has a tail, no legs. The big bad wolf, imprisoned for crimes against nature, and Little Red Riding Hood. Okay. 1810. Fine. I don't know what the wolf would be, honestly. Then we have the Cyclops. Now the Cyclops would be like the eye, I'm assuming. The violent Cyclops, imprisoned for crimes against nature. Okay. 700 BCE, before Common Era, I do believe that would mean. So that is 700 years before zero. And the deceptive serpent, imprisoned for crimes against nature, 1800. BCE. 1800 BCE. So that's actually the order. If you are going back in time, it should be mermaid, wolf, cyclops, and serpent. Okay, I'm back. Had I listed to an in-depth video on Pokemon losing the Pal World. Serpent. Okay. I don't really know about those games, I have to say. I heard about the controversy, how Pal World is a lot like Pokemon, and I can see the similarities, but then again, what it brought up a really interesting conversation, in my opinion, about how difficult it really is to define certain ideas and concepts in games, because there are just so many kind of cliches and really commonly used ideas. So for example, I think there was this idea that in Pokemon you can call forth a creature to fight for you, and I'm like, well, if you think about it, Digimon is like that. They are not stored in a bowl, but still. Even Yu-Gi-Oh is a bit like that, because yeah, you have the cards, not the bowls, but still you are doing this kind of proxy fighting. Pal World has creatures with gun and violence. Pokemon is crit friendly. Well, that's actually a really big difference in a way, I think, and why it might be less of a problem for the companies. The fact that they have separate audiences. If Pal World had the same audience as Pokemon, I think Nintendo would be a bit more concerned about it. Because again, you have a kind of limited audience size, and if you lose any of those players, well, your sales will show that. But here I have an idea. I know, it's crazy, but you might remember that this PC in theory should open 5 different doors 4 in the cells and one is this. It's an engraved plaque. Here lies Ophelia, tragically drowned, daughter, sister, human. So we have human as kind of the last in the list. Except we have no date here, which is interesting because, well, it's a tomb. So I guess it could have a date, but it doesn't have one. So we have mermaid, wolf, cyclops and serpent. Now with the mermaid I could see the argument that it has something to do with the ocean themed part of the park, and maybe all of them are such, but there are no wolves or cyclops or anything like that. So I don't really think. There are fairies, but there are no fairies in the list. So I think what I will try to do is look in the fairyland, because the text says that all of these creatures are imprisoned for crimes against nature, and Fairy Tale Town is kind of where nature is, so maybe we find something here. I'm not sure. Digimon is an isekai themed. You get sucked into a different world. Honestly, I only know the really old Pokemon, and back then I don't think it was isekai. It was just like a specific different world. I don't know if they changed anything about that. Nintendo is trying to patent mounts, creatures, auto-battling, whatnot, all because Nintendo is openly scared of Palworld for being a massive hit and blowing Pokemon sales out of the water. Now let's not forget that, again, international law and local law can be quite different, and Nintendo is a Japanese company. So in Japan, as far as I know, copyright is not really a thing. It's really quite different. And Nintendo likes to copyright certain things. I remember during one time when a Zelda game, one of the newer Zelda games released, there was a bit of news about Nintendo copyrighting the idea that if you build something with wheels on it, because I do believe in this in this Zelda game you could build vehicles and whatnot. So let's imagine you have like a plank of wood and you put 4 wheels on it, and the copyright was, well, if you create something like this, so moving object, if you with your character stand on that moving object, not only the object will move but you as well with it. That was pretty much the pattern or the copyright, and I think it got accepted and everyone said, well, that's like every game in existence, because that is just how physics works. And I think legally they still own it, but it's again the idea that if Nintendo ever tried to go with court with such a thing, all the other publishers would fight against it, because they would be in a position that is threatened by Nintendo. Because you can't let someone else have the exclusive rights to such a fundamental idea in game design. Now, when it comes to really specific ideas, let's say Nintendo says, well, I have this really special idea that I have little creatures, aka Pokemon, that kind of belong to a partner, owner, whatever you want to call them, and they are stored in little bowls, and that gets a copyright. I'm pretty sure the Pokeball design is already copyrighted, and then they fight. Maybe they have some legal chance to win an argument with that. So Palworld couldn't have their creatures in bowls. They would have them in squares. So again, it's how specific something is. And it sounds silly, but I also understand that as a creator, it's extremely difficult to protect your own ideas, because the moment you release something, it will get copied, especially if it's a success. So what can you really protect of your own creation? And that's difficult. So in a way, Nintendo is maybe overdoing it by trying to make really generic ideas their own. But on the other hand, small studios can suffer greatly by coming up with a great idea and then some other studio just saying, well, we will copy that entirely. No, Pokemon is not an isekai. Trainers, oh, they are trainers, yes, right. Live with the Pokemon. Digimon, on the other hand, is an isekai. Yes, that is true. Even though it's interesting, because I think the isekai kind of genre and idea and even the term was coined much later than Digimon started. Oh, Japanese government shut down one of Nintendo's creature battling pattern because Ark, StarCraft, and even the oldest creature capture and battler Shin Megami Tensei did it first. Yes, so it's always a back and forth, and I have to say I mostly am indifferent to legal news of these kinds, because it's a whole lot of money spent on these legal battles, and most of the time the result is that the parties come to some agreement outside of court, and the public will never know how much money changed hands. But it's just a part of business. Without games companies learning to slightly use an idea, like Battlefield and Call of Duty share ideas. Yes, I mean every game in a genre shares certain ideas. Every game overall shares some fundamental ideas. Like, if you think about Doom released, I do believe, 1993 by id Software, and it wasn't the first-person shooter. It is true, even though some people think it was, but it popularized the genre. Now, could you patent the idea of first-person shooter? No, I don't think so. And now there's a whole genre built upon it. And it's funny enough, because back in the day, games that used first person and had shooting elements, they weren't called FPS games, they were called Doom clones, because everyone knew Doom, and so they said, well, this game is like Doom. It's a bit like how there is the genre now called Souls-like, because, well, there was Dark Souls, and then people said, you know, this other game is much like that. So sometimes even in the name it is mentioned where that idea came from, and I think that's nice. It's always nice to kind of respect and give credit to where an idea came from. But these are really generic things overall, so you can't necessarily say, well, it's your kind of specialty. But in that way, you can say that Battlefield, Call of Duty, they kind of stole from Doom. Doom kind of stole from Wolfenstein, even though that was from the same studio. But you can always go further and further back and find something. Nintendo is just trying to bully smaller companies with lawsuits and fear. That maybe, I don't know if Nintendo actually sued any smaller companies. I know that in the beginning there was a lot of talk about how Palworld might be in trouble, and then Nintendo only said that they are looking into it. I don't know if they ever really went to court, because a lot of journalists and experts, they said that Nintendo is holding back on it because they know they wouldn't really have much of a chance. So right now Nintendo is just being a greedy child. The newest Pokemon game budget was only $12 million, while Legends Arceus sold more physical copies and had a budget of $15 to $20 million, which is actually fascinating that, well, as far as I know, Pokemon games are not exactly known for their super realistic graphics, but that is quite a small budget for a AAA kind of game. And no, I'm thinking about like Sony AAA games made from hundreds of thousands of, or rather, what, hundreds of thousands, hundreds of millions of dollars. And I think the new GTA's developed from more than maybe $1 billion, which I think is just outrageously ridiculous, but that's my own opinion. Sadly, Nintendo is copying EA with Madden football games, cheap, lazy games. But sports games are quite different in many ways. They are currently suing Palworld as we speak. Well, that explains it. As I said, I don't rather know the news about this, but yes, again, it's a strategy from the books of business. Is Nintendo playing nice? I don't know. The company behind Palworld is obviously smaller. They have the funds, I would assume, based on the success, to go into such a legal battle. But then again, it might kind of drain them of those funds and prevent them from making like a bigger second game or something like that. So there are a lot of parts to this, because in one way Nintendo could really be concerned about their position with Palworld, and they are trying to kind of make a cautionary tale out of this entire lawsuit of let's do not copy Pokemon in any way. Or maybe they know that they cannot win this lawsuit, but if they drag it out long enough, that takes a lot of time, that takes a lot of money from the Palworld creators, and so that kind of holds their success a bit. But again, it can be many things. It's interesting because with lawsuits, sometimes you don't want to win, and that's something that people might overlook. Nintendo never plays nice. I don't know much about Nintendo, so I'm not picking sides on this. I don't even have a Nintendo console, Switch or anything like that, newer ones. Palworld is winning the lawsuit, funny enough. So Nintendo is bringing up these patents for backup, but still losing, which even funnier. Yes, but again, you have to look at it thinking, well, what is the goal of Nintendo? Because many journalists and many people might think, well, Nintendo is losing, haha, funny, they got their ass kicked. And say, well, they lost. Well, maybe they lost, but maybe that was their plan in a way throughout the entire thing. Maybe they were aware that they wouldn't be able to win this case, and so they just came up with all these claims and patterns and all that, so they can drag out this lawsuit as long as they can. They can rack up an immense bill for the Palworld creators, for legal consultation and representation and court fees and all that. And that is obviously coming out of the company and not going into the game. It also pulls away the attention of the company from maybe updating the game, making new games. Rather, they are focused on this lawsuit. And again, that's the tricky thing. To Nintendo, a really old company, a lawsuit for them is like nothing. It's like they have an entire legal group, I'm pretty sure, and they are like, let's do one of those, like, diversion tactics. And on the other hand, for Palworld, it's like a first, and maybe they are concerned, like, oh, we can really get our things in trouble here, and so they focus on it, and that makes sense. But again, it might not be about who is winning, but who is spending how much time, money, resources on a lawsuit that is somewhat pointless from the beginning. And I'm not saying who's in the wrong or who is in the right with this. Everyone has their opinion. What I would bring attention to is just to realize that this is a known strategy in business, that sometimes you just want to get your rivals occupied with things, whatever that is, a lawsuit, bring up some trouble, stir things up, just some sort of public problems, whatever. It doesn't matter, as long as they are preoccupied with something unimportant and not actually working on whatever made them your rivals. You are winning that battle, and that is politics, really. That's part of companies and the world overall. Nintendo goal is to stop Palworld and others from making a better game than Pokemon. In a way, you can also try to do that. Like, make it as impossible as possible. I didn't pay attention to this till now, because this patents threatened my Digimon, because Digimon is a creature battler. Yes, but that's what I mentioned, that the broader, the more generic ideas you bring into something like this. Now, Nintendo is not only leading a battle against the developers of Palworld, and again, my apologies, but I don't even know the studio's name. But they are kind of calling out the Digimon franchise, and that is obviously owned by a much larger company. If I'm not mistaken, the publisher is Sega, behind the Nintendo video games. I'm not sure about the rest. Wait, Sega or Bandai? No, it's Bandai. My apologies. No, Bandai, again, Japanese huge company, not only in video games. So Bandai might come in and say, well, you can do your little lawsuit with Polwards and Pokemon and whatever, but you let us out of this mess. And again, then there are obviously bigger companies at odds there. So that's why it's tricky that as you are making claims, you are kind of ruffling up the hairs of other bigger companies, and then you have trouble because again, ideas are shared throughout the industry. So it's not like you specifically attack indie studios. It's like, oh no, there are big companies there, and in a way, how it balances itself out is that once the big companies jump at each other's throats, millions are going into the lawsuits. We have seen many of these, and there's a lot of firepower kind of thrown into those legal battles between the big companies. No offense taken, I don't know Palworld creator either. Bandai ships the game. Toei Animation is the owner of Digimon. Oh, it's good to know. I know that recently a video game, Digimon Time Stranger, I think it is called, was released, and I think it was published by Bandai, but that's about it, how much I know. Bandai is the publisher and game designers, I see. But again, Toei Animation, really big companies. So, and interestingly, all Japanese. So they are not only internationally big players, but they also know the Japanese playing field in a way. So if Nintendo is trying to do certain things, then Digimon can kind of, or well, not Digimon, but Bandai can kind of step in and say like, hey, stop with the claims. And again, it's a tricky situation because the companies kind of need each other. So let's imagine a scenario where Nintendo really loses its mind for a moment and makes, let's say, Bandai angry. Bandai could say that we won't release the Digimon games on your platform, which would obviously be a really big hit for Nintendo. But then again, it would also be a hit to Bandai. So it's a tricky situation how it's working out, and it's a delicate balance because, for example, just a few days ago, Capcom released more information about Resident Evil Requiem, which will be the next big name. And Capcom is releasing all of the newer Resident Evil titles in a kind of collection on Nintendo Switch 2. They are releasing a special controller for Requiem for Nintendo. So they are really strengthening their kind of cooperation. But on the other hand, interestingly, what was kind of even emphasized in the presentation, at least for a moment, that Resident Evil Requiem will release on the Epic Games Store. For the first time in the franchise, a Resident Evil game releases there, and I'm assuming that, well, all the others will as well. And so much so that if you buy Resident Evil Requiem on the Epic Games Store, you get Grace's skin in Fortnite. So again, is the connection between companies, and you can see how it goes, how it falls out. I mean, Resident Evil was really big on the GameCube. Again, with Nintendo and Capcom having a long history. Some might remember the Resident Evil 4 Nintendo Chainsaw controller, which was kind of a special exclusive item. And quite a collectible for fans later on. And then they kind of fell out, and then they meet again. It's going back and forth. It's the ebb and flow of life. Oh, Digimon Story Time Strangers isn't available on Nintendo Switch 2 at all, but that's actually a really interesting tidbit. Why is that? I'm finally done with my Halloween costume. Oh, what are you? What are you dressing up as? If I can ask, that is. Let's see if we can find a prisoner here. Or a demon. What kind of demon? Oh, come on. Why can't I have a moment? Just a moment of peace. I mean, it's pretty impressive that this place closed years ago and it's still full of guests. And by the looks of them, maybe the same guests. Oh. Okay, let's reload and not throw a grenade. Thank you. As this is the crate. I just read these in case I missed them. There's a really good chance that I didn't. Okay, let's try to blow this open. Does not work. Now you might say that's a bit silly that I'm shooting at the vent covers, but then again we could set a door on fire. So who knows? Now, let's see if we get lucky with the vending machine again. Kick it! Wait for it! Nothing. Okay, fair enough. What are these bamboo sticks? These green pieces? They look kind of like those tubes that the gold was in, except much thinner. It's a bookshelf. Yes, there are a lot of books about mining gold, I know that. I didn't miss anything inside there, right? I think I could actually close this if I really wanted to. Okay, this is the excavation. So yeah, I'm looking for... what am I looking for? Oh yes, information about crimes against nature. That puzzle is really kicking my butt. I mean, I still have a few places to go, so I'm not entirely out of options. But it's a bit concerning. What's this place? This is the Swan Lake, right? Yeah. So I'm looking for something about a prisoner, about body parts. Maybe some kind of a doll or statue or something. Like a statue with like the head of a wolf or something. Could be a hint. But I am rather unsure about what I could do. Oh, I didn't check this before? A shame. You see, that's why you check all of the trash cans. I mean, you can find a grenade in them. Which is actually quite concerning, to be perfectly honest, but that's what it is. Nothing specific. I have big horns and a mostly black outfit. I just threw things from my normal clothes together. Ah, I see. So you normally have big horns as part of your outfit? Well, no, I'm not judging. I think that would be actually pretty rather nice, but just asking. So it was around here. You little shit! Wow. I did not expect that. Not these, but everything else. I see. Well, I thought. But I'm sure it is a really nice outfit you put together. And I hope you will have a wonderful time wherever you are planning to wear it to. But I considered several times to just wear the horns. Oh, really? I'm sure you would be a sight. Oh, and thank you for the hydrate, Gojira. Loki. It's rather quite nice to have a sip, and I advise you to do the same. Ah, so refreshing. I'm going to a friend's party. That's wonderful. Enjoy your time. That's the most important. The following doors are logged electronically. Yes, I know. Mermaid, Cyclops, Wolf, Serpent. Is that important? It's Mermaid, Cyclops, Wolf, Serpent. In this order here. Now, based on time, I put them in a Mermaid, Wolf, Cyclops, Serpent order, so slightly different. Filing cabinet, well organized. Yes, this is about the funding of the Cosmic Future part of the park. It's a TV. This is a message for Edward Crow from Douglas Pike. Edward, we've been friends for over 30 years. That means we are old now. You entrusted me with the running of your theme park, a task I have relished. You have always shown me kindness and always paid me well for my work. However, I can no longer remain silent. Edward Crow, your crimes have not gone unnoticed, nor will your sins go unpunished. As for Elaine Marshall, I hope she never forgives us, for none of us deserves it. Goodbye. Oh, so this wasn't a police officer. This was actually this Pike person. And it seems that he was shot, perhaps by Crow himself. I feel kinda bad for him. No shit! He was murdered. Or committed suicide. One of the two. Yes, this is about the electrified office. What's this? It's a model of Crow Country Park. Looks like there are 4 main areas. And a few smaller sections around the outside. Yes, but we have no other information. And here we have nothing. That's speculation. Maybe he died before he got shot. Actually, that's not a bad point. You are right. Maybe he did. I didn't think of that. Well, first time around I actually thought he was the police officer. So yeah, I'm not good at this detective thing. But I guess we are going down here. The 3rd elevator to northeast. Spooky. What's that? It's a piece of paper. Mind-blowing. It's some kind of diagram. Yes, I know. You blow up her head and the key is in the resin. I know. Just don't know how to do it. Let's reload. I'm running out of shotgun shells concerning. Is that safe? I'm not sure. You know what? I will play it safe and shoot at it. Come on, get your breathing under control, girl. Really? Your aim is piss poor. Haha. Almost got myself blown up there. You. That was my last shotgun shell. Root Sun. Southeast. I see. Ah. Thank you, Zeph. Ever so nice. Not so much for the book, but I guess it's a bundle package. What's my health like? Caution. Let's heal up. Yeah, bit more behind the ear. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's rather quite nice. Why are you poking at my cheeks? That's weird. Okay, enough. It's fun. Well, I'm happy you enjoy it. Uh-oh. That's a problem. I'm rather out of shells. But hey, I still had a grenade. Oh! Haha! I see ya. I see ya. And that's antidote that I can't use. Route set. Northwest. Well, I guess let's try to use this. I guess it operates the cart. Well, let's pull the lever. A cart ride in the darkness. In the abyssal depths. How nice. Oh, this is the break room, right? Yes. So I've been here before. This should be somewhat safe, yeah. If I don't get my head cut off. Well, let's see. This was the break room. What's this? It's a box of handgun ammo. Really? But thank you. Somehow missed that. It's a shelf and it's full of gold ore. Yes, I know. I already searched this. It's a shelf full of those other rods. It's a notice board. 3, a 6, a 2 and another 6, but I can't remember the order and I need a license plate for it. Well, I guess we're pulling this. Route access. It's down. There's a red light. Well, raise it up. The light turned green. I guess that's it. Okay. Whoa! Okay. Oh no. Oh no, no, you didn't. Then I'm out of bullets. Hey, what the heck is that? You just cube down there. Really? Uh-oh. Oh, that's no good. I almost ran out all of my bullets. Ugh. That was yucky. Oh, is that the license plate? What's that? Georgia, Atlanta Falcons. It's an old license plate, 2663. Well, thank you very much. Let's write it down. License plate. It's 2663. Good thing this didn't melt. Yeah, it really is. And this is for the break room security gate. Anyone knows where the heck that is? Oh, this one. The gate closed. Yeah, I didn't even really realize there was a gate, but yeah. There's a keypad. Yeah. Oh, grand. We got out. Look, I'm entirely out of like bullets and pretty much everything, so I will just kind of make my way back to wherever I was, northeast, and go up with the elevator, and I don't know what I will do next. Yes, those are now open, but I have like 2 bullets left in my pistol. So I will say, let's get some ammunition first. Yeah, I'm not picking that up. I have to say, the idea with the Iron Maiden, I love it. It's great. It's a metal handle. It's a winch for the torture rack. I know this is so soothing to listen to. I mean, I could do this all day long. Even if it doesn't give you a trophy, it's just nice to imagine someone being on that rack and screaming as I'm turning the wheel. A monster can dream. That was fun, yeah, it was. I would have made a good medieval torturer guy. Wait, no, I take that back. No, I don't. I don't take that back. It's a medieval torture rack. My ankles would never fit into those. Probably for the best. Yeah? Nah, let's try to figure out what the heck we need to do here. Well, I still have no clue about this puzzle, and that's my biggest problem. But for now, let's try to focus on something else. Not like I can delay the inevitable forever, that being somehow solving this puzzle. And for now, I need to go back to my car for some ammunition. However, I'm not sure if the park isn't crawling with these creatures once again, since I did something. But apparently no. That's great. Actually, I was just about ready to go back to the parking lot to check the license plate here, thinking maybe that's the one I needed. But I think actually the license plate here did not include any numbers. It's a car. This is a really nice car, but it's covered in trash. I guess the owner doesn't care for it anymore. I mean, that's not trash. That is a gold freaking rod right there. And probably those contain gold as well. I mean, no one comes here ever. Okay, give me some ammo. Thank you. Not a lot, but more than nothing. Oh, yes. Okay, what is rather quite interesting is the police officer. Ever since we met him in the lounge, I think, we haven't heard about him. And he's not there anymore. Isn't that interesting? Nah, let's see what the heck I can do. Gift shop already been there. Toilet already been there. Train station already been there and done that. Yeah, I think I've done